Today we're out here having some fun with this Springfield Armory XDM10 OSP in 10mm. So let's take some shots with it. I missed it. This gun is a beast. It's pretty heavy. I've got an RMR on it and a TLR 1HL on it, but it really handles the recoil really well. Well, that 10mm really shakes those steel targets. Let's run a magazine of Underwood 180 grain jacketed hollow points through it. See how these do. Oh yeah, you can definitely feel the difference in these. And I can't hit that little target. Oh, knocked it clean off with that one. Oh, you can tell just how hard these suckers hit. If I could hit. Whew. Those are pretty hot rounds. You can definitely tell. Let's shoot another mag through it, then I'll fix the targets while I reload. Let's shoot those paint cans up there on top. Maybe. There's one. I don't know why I can't hit it with this. That was ridiculous. That was all me though. Alright, I'm blaming all those misses on me, but I'm gonna go reload the mags and we're gonna fix the targets, so we'll be back here in just a minute. Alright, so I got the targets fixed, and by fixed I mean baling wired back up, because that's what I had them holding them up before. That's why they broke, but I'll eventually get around to putting bolts in them again. But got all the magazines loaded, so let's shoot some more. And I brought out a couple 2 liters and thought I'd shoot them, maybe make up for the missing the spray paint cans so many times. I don't know, but we're gonna try to hit them and at least hit them in the first shot, maybe, crossing our fingers. So let's take a few more shots and see how it does. I really do like this gun, man. It is heavy. Of course, you want a heavy gun with a 10. There we go. Let's put a couple on the head of the silhouette. Oh, a little low. One thing about it, with the slide closed, and you're going to put a magazine in, you really better hit it. Because it is, that spring in that magazine is tight, and you definitely want some kind of magazine loader. I've been using an up-looper the whole time to load them, because it'll kill you to try to load them without it. But let's shoot them just as fast as I can keep them on the target, on the silhouette, and see how I can do with it. I don't know why I closed the slide. Let's shoot it one-handed. Ain't no need not shooting a 10 one-handed. Heck, I may be able to hit better one-handed than I was two. There we go. Let's see, do I have any more? Oh yeah, I got one more right here. Knock that wire off again. This gun's definitely a fun gun to shoot. So let's go inside. We'll take a look at what you get when you buy it, and we'll take some closer looks at it the way it's set up. All right, we made it off the range. So now we're gonna go back in time a little bit to before I put the optic and the light on here and take a look at what you get when you buy the Springfield Armory XDM10 OSP. All right, first you got this nice hard case. I mean, I would almost consider this almost a Pelican case quality. It's a very nice hard case, and that really doesn't thrill me any, just because this will just set on a shelf and I'll probably never do anything with it. But if that's something that interests you, it is a nice case for it. A lot nicer than most other pistol cases. You open it up. First off, you've got your paperwork, all your warranty cards, some other stuff, some ads. You got the target where they test fired it. So you got all that. Now, if you do register your warranty on this, you get a discount on like magazines and stuff the first time you order them from Springfield. So there is that if you're interested in doing that. And then, of course, you get your standard gun lock. You get a little deal of Lucas gun oil. You get two 15-round steel magazines. See, they're nice mags. You've got the bag of optics plates and screws and a little Allen wrench or Torx wrench to fit them, so you can put the different optics plates on. I believe this comes with one for the Vortex, one for the Delta Point Pro, and the other one is for the RMR, I know. Then you've got two different back straps that are interchanged. This is the number 2 and 3, the ones on the gun. And then, of course, you've got the gun. So now, let's take a closer look at the gun itself. Now, as far as the gun itself goes, let's see, it's clear. We'll start up here on top. It's got these big, tall suppressor height sights that I originally thought were going to be too tall whenever I put an optic on it, but I'll show you that here in a little bit. They're actually perfect, but we'll get into that later. You've got them. The slide is a forged steel slide with a melanite finish, and it does have front and rear slide serrations, and they're decent. They're not anything extravagant, but they work well. It's easy to get a good grip on them. Now, this slide is the same size, and even says, or has stamped 4.5 right there on it. It's the same size slide as the 4.5 inch barrel gun, but this gun has a 5.28 inch threaded barrel, and this is a match grade barrel, and it's threaded 0.578 by 28. And one thing I will say right now that I was kind of disappointed in is it didn't come with any kind of O-rings for the thread protector. So therefore, the first time I was shooting it, the thread protector worked its way loose. So you definitely need to get some of those. And I just ordered some from Blacklist Industries. I think it was $2 or $3 for a 5-pack. Some of the other features on the slide is it does have a loaded chamber indicator here. And then, of course, your optics, removable optics plate here. And on the back, it has your striker status indicator. And that actually sticks out past it. I don't know if you can kind of see it there. And I mean, I could do without that. It doesn't make me any difference, but I guess it's so you can have a tactile feel whether it's cocked or not. But like I said, it doesn't make me any difference either way. Now, to disassemble this gun, all you have to do is walk your slide back to the rear, flip the takedown lever up, and then drop the slide forward. There's no need to ever pull the trigger. And then you just take the thread protector off the barrel, and your spring comes out. Now, this does have a metal guide rod. And you just take it apart like every other striker fire gun. It goes back together pretty easily. Spring's a little tough to get in because it's a pretty stiff spring, but it's not nothing really hard. Just screw our thread protector back on. Lock the slide back, flip it down. Good to go. Now the frame on this gun, of course, polymer. It does have the 3 interchangeable back straps on it, like I mentioned. And the texture on this, I mean, it isn't anything to write home about. It's not bad. It's just nothing that extravagant. And even with the recoil of full power loads, I didn't have any trouble keeping control of it and keeping a good grip on it. So, I mean, it does its job, so I can't really complain about it. It does have completely ambidextrous mag release. And it has a rail up front. And the takedown lever, for me, at least with my big hands, actually, it's kind of a little oversized there. And it makes it easy for me to use it almost like a gas pedal, the way my hands are. But I don't know if most people could reach that, but I definitely can. The height on this gun is right at 6 inches, and the length is just a little over 8.5 inches on it. Now the trigger on this gun, it's a good trigger for a striker fire gun. I would say it's definitely above average, and it breaks right at 4 pounds 11 ounces, and the reset's not too bad either. I'll show you the reset on it. Here's the break out to the reset right there. There's not too much over travel after it breaks, but there is a little take up there. But it's still a good trigger. No complaints there. Now the unloaded weight on this gun with a magazine installed was 31.8 ounces on my scale. Now these are offered in the flat dark earth like I have here, or they offer them in the total black. And the MSRP on them is $695, and I know I see them a lot for around the $600 mark, somewhere in that neighborhood. So if you're really looking for a 10mm, it's a pretty nice gun for the price. Now let's take a look at it whenever I get the RMR on it and how I'm going to have it set up. Now I've got this gun set up now. I've got a Trijicon RMR on it, the Type 2 3.25 MOA, and I'm running a Streamlight TLR1 HL on it, the 1000 lumen version, and this thing is extremely bright in the dark. But as far as the RMR goes, this is my first actual RMR. I've always had other brands, SIGs or Holosun and the Swamp Fox, and I do really like the RMR. And I decided to go with it over one of the other brands, just figuring the recoil on this 10mm was going to be kind of a lot of abuse on an optic sitting on the slide. So I thought I'd go with the best one out there supposedly, so we'll see how it holds up. Now, shooting it, I ran a mixture of different ammo, mainly the SMB 10mm 180 grain, because it's what I found a bunch of online. And it cycled it fine. And I also ran a box of this PMC Bronze 170 grain jacketed hollow point, and a box of the Winchester Defender 180 grain jacketed hollow point, and this stuff was fairly hot ammo. And then the 10mm auto 180 grain bonded jacketed hollow point 1300 feet per second Underwood ammo. This stuff was really hot compared to even the Winchester, and I think the Winchester was, yes, 1240 feet per second, so 60 feet per second faster, but you definitely can tell the difference in shooting it, I thought anyways. As far as me talking about how these sights I thought were a little tall, you can see the optic actually rides on top of the slide. Well, if my camera would focus on it, I'd show you. It actually rides on top of the slide due to the cut is basically just deep enough. Well, now it's out of focus big time. Is just deep enough for their adapter plate. So the sights have to be that tall to be able to co-witness it all with the RMR on there. And I also had my 507C on it just for a little bit, just messing around before I got the RMR in. And it seemed to co-witness good with it too. Now, as far as the grip safety goes, I haven't had any trouble with it, so I know some people say, oh, they don't want a grip safety, don't want a grip safety, and I don't care either way. It's been fine with me. It hadn't caused me any issues, so it just doesn't really bother me. Now, as far as holsters go, there's not a whole lot out there that I saw online. I'm sure there's some companies that are making them, but I didn't see that many. I went ahead and picked up a Blackhawk Omnivore off Amazon, like 40 bucks, and I'll put a link to that in the description if somebody's interested. But it fits basically any gun with a TLR1 or a TLR2 on it. And they also have it for the Surefire X300, I think. But, I mean, it's not really a concealed carry holster, but I don't think you're going to really concealed carry this gun. I mean, it's a big gun. But if you do, I guess you could use it for that. Now, I do like the way this gun's shot. It handles the recoil really well, even with those full power loads. And it's a pretty heavy gun, and you add that light on the front, so it makes it rather heavy. But it did handle the recoil really well. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. If you think somebody else will enjoy it, make sure you share it out. And if you think I've earned it, consider subscribing. We'll see you in the next one.